Hey, Jeff and Eric.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Doing fine. Thank you.
Tried to freestyle the intro there.
Yeah.
I think we nailed it.
All
So,
right.
thank you guys so much for sitting with me. I'm Armand from Kazi Magazine. This is our Get to Know series where we talk to artists, managers, producers, different people. Essentially, just help people get to know them outside of the things that they might tweet or their music or whatever their work is. Just good, genuine conversation.
Do you go to all of their apartments as well?
This is actually the first time I've stepped into any of a personality's homes.
Right on.
This is, pretty
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Cool. I
Welcome.
feel like we're getting a lot closer here.
Yes,
So
most definitely. You agree that this is actually where we live?
This is where they live.
It's
yes.
not just a set. There is a common misconception out there that we have separate apartments and studios. No, we record in our living room.
Which is not a studio apartment.
No. That would make it weird.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Studio apartment. Kind of some poetry to that. Being
Totally.
Entertainment studios.
Totally.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to speaking with you guys. So I think the best way to start is to ask how your hot boy summers are going.
Ooh. Like killing it.
It
I feel
is.
like.
Well, yeah. First of all, it is not just literally a hot summer out, which it is.
Mhm.
Shout out to us for getting air conditioning.
Yes.
But listen, I did see that. What's his name? The Bagel Boss
Well,
guy.
it's not technically the Bagel Boss. It's like the guy who was at Bagel Boss. Like he was with some girl, and just like her boobs were like out. Like so, he's killing it. If he's killing it, I'm killing it.
That's right. He's 5 feet tall. Jeff is 6'3", 4.
3.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to sell you short.
Yeah.
So if Bagel Boss guy is doing it, then Jeff can do it too.
So do we want to aspire to be Bagel Boss guy or Moneybag Yo since he landed Meg the Stallion?
Right.
Do I want to? This is a real tough choice you're giving me. Do I want to be the guy who's like racist and misogynist and jingoistic, and who lives in the back of his car in like Long Island, or do I want to be Moneybag Yo?
Guys, if you
how
go
long is this
viral,
podcast?
if you go viral, do us all a favor and don't do anything stupid beforehand. How about that?
Or that's how I get on.
That's how you get on? Do
Yeah.
something stupid to go viral?
Of course.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm in the 6ix9ine mold.
Well, no,
There you go.
because Bagel Boss guy
Uh huh.
went famous,
Mhm.
goes on the radio, is known and like a thing,
Yeah.
and then you do a little investigating and you find out not a great guy.
Doesn't take much investigating.
But you found his YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and there's like
The internet did.
yeah.
I wasn't the one.
I thought maybe it was you.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, to answer your question, probably Bagel Boss guy. Yeah.
How did you guys like Meg's album that just dropped?
Good. I like it. I feel like I didn't listen to it too much, but I
Yeah.
mean, like I like everything I hear. I like her.
Yeah, same. And I'm going to be very honest here. There's a lot of new music that drops all the time, and it's hard to stay on one project for more than a day.
Yeah.
Like
Especially when I'm listening to like 80s funk half the time. Like like I enjoy. I think that at this stage in my life, and also like at this stage in like 2019, it's just like you like people for their personalities, and it's almost like the work comes second.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I love Meg, and I will support her in anything she does, and I think that's where I'm at.
well, music is what she does.
Yeah, music is what she does.
So go support what she does.
Yes, I'm gonna go stream everything.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. I actually feel like that a lot. Like there are certain people whose music will just never really get that chance to get to where it could be because people don't like them as who they are as people. Like Russ, for example. I really like Russ's music.
Oh, for a second I thought you were gonna stop right there and be like, I really like Russ as a person.
I mean, he's got some good
He's
things
passionate,
to say. Yeah,
I'm sure.
He's very passionate. He's talented. I mean, to be writing, producing, mixing, all of that by himself, it's pretty remarkable. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that I respect. I see why people kind of dislike him
Well,
for what he promotes.
I'll say
but-
this: I've never gotten into him because I found his personality to be so overbearing. I saw him do a Rap Radar conversation, and the first question that Elliot asked was, he asked something that had like a definitive, this could be an answer to, and Russ was like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about how much I don't like every other person who's recording right now. And it was just like, all right, like, and so I have not gotten into Russ. I've seen him live, but that's about it.
Okay. So, from what I've seen, you guys have been, really welcomed into the culture. So many legends. You sit down and you debate movies with Luch and Styles P. You've had these legendary features on your music, which we're gonna get into.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourselves of the culture?
Yes.
Okay.
We put in a lot of work to there's the facts, which are that we grew up 30 minutes outside of New York City. We grew up in circumstances where we loved from afar. But the moment that we could move to the city, the moment that we could be out and about and earn our way into the culture, we put the steps into motion to make that happen. There were two ways to go about this. When we started our career, you could just comment, online and hope that you would never run into someone if you said something foul, or you could stand by what you do, what you create. And then you can go to every event, whether it's uptown or in Brooklyn or downtown or wherever it is, and show your face and show that you want to be part of this and earn your way in. And I think that we're 12 years into a career having earned our way in. And, when Mac Miller passed, we knew him obviously in person. We collaborated. We have been to each other's homes. We loved each other, right? But the more that I dug into that, I was like, I relate to him because there's a lot of age in between us. But I related to him because he is someone who, like us, did things the right way and earned his way in, rather than try to take a shortcut and just end up there,
Okay. Do you have any? No.
Oh no, I just nodded along. I was like, that'll make sense. Yeah.
You check out?
Yeah. I was like, what are we talking about? We're still talking about Meg Thee Stallion. I love Big Old Freak.
So even with, being students of the game and like earning your way in, have you felt like your whiteness has been a barrier in any way, or, people have kind of tried to hold you back as a result of that?
I think that there's a thing where like whiteness it'll skip a few steps in certain ways. I think that we're able to make some of the mistakes that some mistakes that we have made in the past. You could chalk that up, and we can move past that because of our whiteness. But I also think that by the same token, it's like, a lot of people will write us off because we're white. So like, it's sort of a mixed bag. But I don't think that. I think that the larger picture is like.
Well, I'm curious as to, not to like start asking questions too, but what mistakes have we made?
No, I just think that like, if like, or shortcomings rather, like where it's just like things were not, like things did not find their audience in the way that I think that we would like.
So, okay, yeah. Because I think that if anyone's like watching or listening and may not know who we are, we do not, toe that line. Like we're like, we don't use the N-word. Like easy thing to not do, right? We don't try to make a joke that's going to be at the expense of like this culture that we love, just for the sake of like,
nothing
getting
clout,
on.
Nothing,
no.
Yeah.
So we put in a lot of work to do things the right way and pay tribute and go above and beyond where things have already been built, and try to add on to this culture rather than anything in terms of like subtracting it.
Right.
So I think that when Jeff says like us being white takes away a little bit because people may look at us and come to a conclusion, that's valid too. I think that like there's videos of us on the Breakfast Club and people at 0.00 on the on the timeline will be like, oh, fuck them.
But then they'll comment later and say, actually, I listened to the interview and I fuck with them. But I mean, like, yes, there's a pro and there's a con, and it's just like, I don't know that it's been meaningful in either direction, in terms of like us getting into the quote unquote culture. But also like culture is like such a watered down term, and also that culture is not the 2019 culture is not the same as 1997 culture. So it's like, there's an audience for, a bunch of idiots and there's an audience for us, and I think that we're all part of this quote unquote culture, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I found some tweets that were about white hip hop heads.
Okay.
They were kind of funny.
Okay.
And I wanted to see you guys respond to them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
It's gonna be like an on the spot
Yeah.
kind of fun activity.
Yeah.
Because we love those. So
Right.
Let's get it started.
Okay.
White hip hop heads be trying to be so contrarian to popular opinion just to appease other black hip hop heads. It's hilarious. LOL.
Maybe. I hate when I hate the whole conversation around like all the pitchfork dudes who like champion Chief Keef or like Future just because it is contrarian. Either like the music or don't like the music and move on.
But also, like, you have to experience the music out.
Yeah,
Like,
well that's
the
true
thing.
too.
Like, you can't just like Finito sounds great when you're out.
Yeah.
Finito is not something I'm listening to like dissecting bars on Genius.
Right.
Like
Right.
and like we were very early on Future, but doesn't mean that we are those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we do go to SOBs and you will see us at all the shows and we're there because we enjoy the music and we like how it sounds in a live space.
Yeah. I think that like just to finish this thing, like irony is not why I listen to music. I listen to music because I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next tweet. Nobody blank. White hip hop heads. You probably listen to Lil Pump.
No, I never think about Lil Pump.
Like where were we? We saw Lil Pump backstage at the show and we were just like, this is very sad. Like Lil Pump, that's who we saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Pump.
He was
and,
dressed like a magician.
Yeah, and his
Yeah.
like giant bodyguards and he's playing beer pong like by himself. And that there was no like excitement, there was no like life there. We're just like, no. But I also wouldn't even characterize us as like hip hop heads. Like we're not
Right.
like backpack rap guys. We're not just like, into Jurassic 5 or into like
Although you want to know what? As a contrarian, I might get into Jurassic 5 like now. That'd be so dope. No, I think that like we're also not people who shit on people for their music taste anymore. Like at a certain point, it just became like, oh, that's what you like. Great.
Cool.
right.
Yeah.
Like when Odd Future came out, I was like, not for me. I don't
Same.
like their like attitude. I don't like how they pick on their interviewers. I don't relate to their music. But you know what? It's not made for me or my ears. And I'm like, cool. I'm going to go listen to all of the other music that I do like, and I think that's what's cool about hip hop now, which is that like it doesn't have to just be one thing or another. I don't like SoundCloud South Florida rappers. I don't. But it doesn't
For
mean
their
that
music.
for their music.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that I have to sit down and listen to them. Like I have a choice and I made that choice not to do it.
Yeah.
That's a good point you brought up, how there's something for everyone in hip hop now. I feel like there are people who are kind of having trouble adjusting to that. And for them, it's like, oh, if this isn't for me or I don't like this, it's trash. Like, it's not even like, oh, it's just not for me, I'm going to leave it alone. Like,
Right.
It's automatically trash.
But it's also like that Twitter and Instagram and all these places have given everybody a voice to say how much they don't like things, and also that people will get on by saying how much they don't like things.
Yeah.
And
so,
also, in addition to that, Twitter and Instagram and all these platforms give people just a finite amount of time to make a decision.
yeah.
It's just like you can't let a critic sit with it for a certain amount of time. And certainly you as a listener don't have that time to be like, well, it grew on me. And I'm going to be honest, I love Rick Ross so much. I think his catalog is just untouchable, and he is a phenomenal artist. There are songs that I miss because things just go by so quickly, and I end up at a club and hear something where I'm just like, oh, is this new? This is awesome. And it's like, no, this came out like 2 albums ago. And it's like, oh, well, it just sounds differently out, and it sounds just as good as when it dropped, and maybe I missed it back then and shouldn't have. But here we are, and I'm glad that it's still around.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get into one more tweet.
Yeah.
Once my phone decides to. There we go. What is it with white male hip hop heads and their raw, seething hatred of Nicki Minaj?
What is it?
I feel like there have been times when I've rooted for Nicki. I think right now is a very tough time for Nicki.
I'm gonna be honest. just don't care about her music.
Eric, she's a fellow Sagittarius.
I don't.
Yeah, how dare you turn
don't
on your kind?
Care about her music.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be very honest. Had she the chance, and this has not come up, but like, let's say her people were like, I'd like her to sit down with you guys and have a real conversation. I bet that we would find things in there, if I could speak for both of us.
Yeah.
We would find things probably in that conversation, an hour and a half, sitting down in this environment where we'd be like, oh, you know what? I actually like her, and she's shown me more personality, and I'm going to give her a second look. But I'm just not there with her as a personality. I watched her on Fallon when she went to Red Lobster, and like, that's a scenario that should allow me more access to her and allow me to like her more.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I wasn't into it. Yeah. Sorry, Nikki.
That's fair.
Do you like her?
I like some of her music.
Sound like a real white hip hop head.
Yeah, it's like it's hit or miss for me. Queen, I liked it. There was stuff on it that I really liked. Me and my girlfriend really got into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There are just some songs where it just like it feels like she's not trying. Like she's just putting out whatever for the sake of putting it out. And it's like, but you're the person who had that monster verse.
Yeah.
You're the person who the song of Wayne back on one of the Drought mixtapes. I forget what it's called, but like she's she can really put
she
together
can rap.
some quality
Yeah,
stuff
Totally.
when the effort's there. And I think she's just almost complacent now.
And
Well, I like her pop stuff, I think, more than her rapping stuff. Like, and that's not something that I'm just like, oh, like that seems expected of me. But I feel like I the more listenable stuff are like the one that like the Annie Lennox thing from like a million years ago. She's somebody who I just want her to stop concentrating on what everybody else is doing. And stop concentrating on like her place and just start making good art again.
I just don't care about her music. I don't. I know a lot of people care very passionately about it. I know there's a lot of people who think that you can only like one female artist at a time. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, but I can like other artists and not like artists too. So, I'm just not in a space where I like Nicki Minaj's music right now.
Yeah, I actually caught a lot of flame from the Barbs back when the first Old Town Road remix dropped. I tweeted out that, I hope that no rapper tries to jump on it after what Billy Ray Cyrus did. And I said, especially you, Nicki Minaj.
Did you add her?
Yeah.
I did not add her, but I guess her stands like search her name.
guess.
Yeah, no,
What?
most certainly.
And-
Have you been on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
See, it's your fault for not like putting an exclamation point instead of like an I,
yeah.
or
listen.
Yeah.
an A or an at symbol instead of the A, or I don't know, putting dashes in the middle.
Yeah. Or just not mentioning her.
Or that.
Yeah.
I've learned. There was one Barb who said she had a group chat specifically dedicated towards like multiple people just bombarding someone's profile with like flags, so like their profile gets taken down. She was
Again,
like,
not
if you
surprised.
don't delete this,
Yeah.
I will get your profile deleted. I was like,
You were in that.
Oh, you infiltrated.
oh no. She like
You were one of
direct
those
messaged
people.
me on the side and
And-
said like, we have this group chat for getting people's profiles removed from Twitter. So
Yeah.
if you don't delete this tweet, we're gonna get you reported and taken
I don't
down.
believe this person because I feel
neither.
like if that person was actually in a group chat, they wouldn't give you the warning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was weird.
I don't feel like they're totally on top of the ball, being
But
like,
what
hey,
a
you want to know
threat.
what? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was
good
like-
What a
threat, though.
moment.
Yeah,
Because I love my Twitter. Like I've really built up something. I feel. So I was like, damn, if I have to start over, like
So you deleted it.
I did not.
Oh, okay, okay,
I
got it.
I stood strong. I was like,
but they didn't like red flag you and all that shit.
there were a couple people who reported some of my old tweets that like had the word like kill or something. Like,
Really?
It's not like I was threatening to kill people, but like.
What
people
were you
kind of-
saying? Let's really get into
did I
it.
say?
Who are we sitting down with?
I am an axe murderer.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
You said ex-murderer, right?
No, I said axe.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry.
Former. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to incriminate myself.
Yeah.
Not
but-
today. Not today.
But if you guys had to liken yourselves to a pop culture duo, whether that's sports, music, TV, movies, politics, even, what duo would you consider yourself?
There's a lot of good duos out there. I mean, the tough thing is that we've known each other for as long as Jeff's been alive. So it's not like we're like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, right? We're not like LeBron and AD. We're not like Woodward and Bernstein, you know? Who would we be?
I was gonna say Chromeo.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Or like I could see like a Kylie and Kendall. You know, name a more iconic duo than us.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It took me a second to remember the second one's name, by the way.
The second one?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I feel like Kylie is a lot more famous than Kendall. It's interesting.
Well, they're both famous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think
Can
But
you
that's
only,
up
like-
to you to decide
Of
who's
course.
Kendall and who's Kylie.
Can you
Okay?
only like one Jenner Kardashian at one time?
I think so. And it's not Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the funny thing to me is the reality is that we are brothers, we work together, we live together, and a lot of people are surprised that we have made it this far. Like a lot of people are just like, what?
Without killing each other.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Axe murder.
You know.
Yeah.
Today might be the day.
I know, yeah. No, but there's a lot of people who are just like, what? Like you're brothers and you work together. Like that's just like, I can't even comprehend that. And it's
Right.
just like, I don't know. We both like what we're doing and we enjoy working with each other. What's so strange about that? I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's interesting because I think about my older brother. We're 4 years apart.
Yeah.
And he's
Same.
You know,
So are we.
Yeah.
Oh wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So like business wise, he's a genius. You know, he's very good with money. So going into business with him, like that would be a benefit. But our personalities clash so much that like I feel like we would just end up like. Not
But
to
there's
use the
nothing
kill
that you
again,
could
but-
overcome to make that ends happen.
No, I definitely think we could overcome it. I just look at it now like, would I even want to do that? Like, how long would it take to really develop that chemistry and have that fluid working relationship? Because like he does things one way,
Yeah.
I do things another way. He's very like, I feel like he's very by the book, and I'm very creative. I'm very spontaneous.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're selling a CBS sitcom. He loads the dishwasher crazy, and
Right.
I like my coffee, you know, in the evening or whatever. And it's just like one of us is
If
messy,
you
one of us
guys
is
do want
clean.
to pick it up,
Yeah.
at our Mizzle on Twitter,
Yeah.
1_.
If you
Me and my brother will
if you if you have a problem with his tweets,
About Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, about Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj.
let me know.
Years ago, as I know you know, we did these sketches. We started our career doing sketches, and there was a time when DMX was on the run from the feds, one of the times, and he was found to be staying at Scott Storch's yacht down in Florida, hiding out. And we were like, we need to do a video about this, and what could it be? And so we created this buddy sitcom that was sort of like modeled after the intro to the Brady Bunch, and we called it My Dog Earl, and it was DMX and Scott Storch living together. We photoshopped all these amazing scenarios.
Yeah, like putting laundry detergent in the dishwasher. You know, like
They're covered in suds and like, you know, sort of like making that emoji like reaction. They were one graduates from like high school and the other's there to support them, or like they both work at Starbucks together, like all these funny things. And the video is still up online, My Dog Earl, and it's just really, really funny still to this day. But maybe that's who we are.
yeah,
Scott Storch and DMX.
yeah,
The greatest duo of all time.
Yes, that's who we are.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
absolutely see it. So, who do you think is the best rapper of you two?
Oh, that's easy. I can answer that, Eric.
I thought you said of YouTube, and I was just like, me.
Still me.
I think we're both actually very good. I
No,
think
Eric is gonna be very diplomatic. It's Eric.
no. So I happen to I think a big difference between the two of us is that we both dissect our own art in different ways though. So I will listen to the podcast over and over again. I will listen to the music over and over again. I will watch the videos over and over again. I think Jeff likes to do something and then move forward, and if it comes on and he hears something and he's nodding his head, he's like, oh yeah, that is good. But he's not as dedicated to dissecting what has been done in certain ways, because Jeff will rewrite a verse over and over and over and over again until he gets it right. But we recorded a whole bunch of stuff for a second album that I think Jeff's rapping is superior to mine and makes me work harder on my craft. So you can say that I'm the better rapper, but I think that you have been on a very hot streak. Hot boy summer. Yeah.
I was gonna ask if there was another project coming, or if you guys were busy working on the deluxe version of Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, let's
I'm
talk
just
about
gonna-
that.
yeah, I'm just
We were
gonna,
not invited to
That's
to
so
Atlanta.
rude. Like,
It's-
Cole and you guys are like.
It's so rude.
It's yeah.
Like,
I'm
could it
glad.
be-
I'm glad that we get to talk about it right here and
Yeah.
now. So Jeff,
Let it out.
yeah.
go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, when we've known Cole for 10 years.
Yeah.
Decade. That's a full decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know,
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
You
else.
couldn't get a golden ticket?
Yeah.
Just one more golden ticket?
like couldn't even like Photoshop it.
A
There were-
silver ticket, like.
There were so many people that were there. Now, by the way, we don't care. Like we've
Couldn't care.
we've not been invited to a lot of things.
Right.
I think it's actually such a nice thing when we are invited somewhere that we just look at the positive of that,
Absolutely.
rather than
Not everything is for you.
yeah.
I've
That's
learned in
exactly right too.
life.
And also,
or everything is for me.
we were talking to some friends
Life is
about
short.
this. Like it's a private session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be honest, not everyone should be there.
No. Also, I don't know what I would be doing there. I would just be like sort of lurking in the back,
Right.
like
but
waiting
well,
to sit somewhere.
Well, no, because I think that like, and we've been a part of this. Like
Right, we would be
producers
there-
have
yeah.
invited us to sessions to add energy. Right.
We would be there for the vibe. I mean, like,
Yeah, to
you know,
add laughs, to like move things along, to nod your head, because then people could be like, oh, unbiased people who are just like really rocking to this. But yeah, we're not going to.
I'm not going down there for like pictures. Is what I'm trying to say.
That's
like,
100% true.
Yeah.
Right. And we do live in an age now where people are so excited to be somewhere and to just take a picture. And you look at any concert and people lift up their phones just to record something. It's like
well, I love it when people lift up their phones and they're actually like taping themselves.
that too. But it's like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if we were invited down to Atlanta for the Dreamville sessions, I would hope just to take it all in and be like, oh, this is dope, and
Yeah.
I'm 100% here.
Yeah.
Rather than in my phone and like, turning the volume down so people don't hear the repeating,
Yeah.
thing that I just caught.
By the
Tweeting
way,
out
every
lyrics.
single 16-year-old listening to this has just like tuned out.
Oh, yeah,
They're just
totally.
like, I do not identify with this at all.
Right,
You guys
right.
sound super
Yeah,
old.
you just complain. Yes, that's our thing.
Yeah.
Do we have a new project? We have a new project.
We have lots of
and-
new projects. though.
and it's all
Yeah.
it's all happening.
By the way, Sheik makes fun of our voices when like we talk like that. We're just like, oh, that was really good, really good.
We ran into him. We were walking home on the Upper West Side, and Jeff goes, "Oh, it's Chic." And so we ran up on him and some other friends, Tony Moxberg and some other guys, and as we were leaving, he was just like, "It's really good. It's really good." And we're like, "Man, of all the things that we've done, that's what you're gonna remember? All right."
So, when's the next time you guys are going to hit a pizza shop and get a crust only pizza?
Okay, so first of all, that's gross.
Oh, I agree.
It,
It's
like,
weird.
it
I love
looks-
cheese too much for that.
It
Like,
looks weird. It just feels so empty.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw it, I thought the white piece of paper was like over the pizza.
Yeah,
and it
same.
was, like,
Right.
covering it.
Yeah, I was
like,
like, oh, it's an
why
internet
is it
just
set
like,
up like
Right,
that? Like,
right.
That's weird. And
Yeah.
then I realized I was like, oh, that's a hole.
For anybody who
Yeah.
doesn't know, Jadakiss ordered a crust only, for the most part, pizza, a full pizza pie minus
the cheese in
the
the middle.
majority of the pizza pie.
Yeah,
And so there was a screenshot of an Instagram put out by the pizza maker
yep. Cuts and Slices NYC.
saying,
Trying to get sponsored.
yeah,
trying- Yeah.
saying, like special order for our guy at The Real Kiss. And so a friend put that up, got our attention, and Jeff texted our group chat with Jada and with Styles and with Chic and posed the question, and Jada answered.
Yeah. He said he can't have cheese, but he likes the taste of the bread.
He was like, just because I don't have the cheese means I can't have the bread. And it was like, I'm with you. You're right. You know
Yeah.
what? Live your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you.
And I love the fact that we really are on the only group chat that the Locks have together. That is the greatest thing. But then Jeff took it to the extreme last night, which was mentioning that this is the only group chat that matters.
Oh, and
And
so,
a whole bunch of our friends in group chats.
Yeah. We're not happy.
Spicy.
But as long as they know their place, there's one thing that matters, and that's the Locks group chat with us. And then, there's a bunch of other ones. Who cares?
If you want to be the number one, then just be legendary rappers.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Way up that hierarchy.
I guess
Work
so.
harder, idiots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get out of my mentions.
Yeah.
But the greatest thing is that Jada
Feel
had
away.
like he was just he had no
wasn't,
idea that
like-
this was anything big. And then it becomes something that trends on Twitter, and every website is writing about this, and it's just
weird that very few websites included his actual response, though.
yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Also, I
Like,
don't know.
there's a bunch of, like, no names being like, this pizza looks crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, no, we had the actual answer, but whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you remember? This is probably like 4 months ago, something like that, when Jadakiss went to go see. He was sitting courtside at a Celtics game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Somebody fell into him.
yeah, fell into him, and he spilled his drink, and it was a really funny thing. And we asked the other guys, we're just like, or no, we asked Jada, we're like, who'd you hear that from? Did you hear it from like Styles? Did you hear it from Chic or anything? And he was just like, no. He was just like, honestly, like it was like you guys. I was like, oh yeah, all right, that's fine. It's
Crazy.
Yeah.
So I read this interview yesterday put out by DJ Booth. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
Great
big shout out.
publication.
Shout out to Yo.
Great guy. And Donna interviewed Wale.
Shout out
Yes.
to Donna.
They were talking
Shout out to Wale.
about- Yeah, shout out to both.
Shout out to
Don-
Cuts and
Don-
Slices NYC Pizza Place in
Donna
Brooklyn.
C, right?
Shout out my mom.
yeah.
Donna
Yeah.
C writes. Big shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, is she watching? Is she a
appreciate that.
regular?
Yeah,
She probably will be watching. Yeah,
Cool.
She
all right.
supports me a lot. I
Shout out
love
to her.
Yeah.
Biggest cheerleader.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. That's always great.
I thought it was dope you guys had your mom on the podcast.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
That's incredible.
She thinks it's dope as well, and
And brings it up basically every day.
she does.
Yeah.
It's great. I love that we brought joy into her life on such a big level, even now, all these years in, and she went down to visit some friends in North Carolina and was like, here's a picture of them listening to the podcast. I'm just like, man, you are not tired of this episode.
No, like she's getting the most views of anybody in 2019. She's working for it.
All the plays.
Yeah.
So
You don't see
that's you
Common
guys'
working
top
for
guest.
Yeah.
It might be. It might
Yeah.
be. We've had a lot of top guests, but to get her as the 250th guest was,
Special.
yeah, it was pretty great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, jumping back to Wale, he talked about his writing process and how you don't run out. Well, people run out of stories; they don't run out of reality.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like so deep, and
Yep.
it hit me as a writer, as an editor, as a creative.
Yeah.
So for you guys, do you ever just like sit and think like we've been really building this up for 12 years, and like we're talking to people every week that some people would dream about being within 10 feet of, or being on a song with, or being added by on Twitter. Like, do you really just sit and think about what you're doing and how incredible it is?
Oh.
No, I don't. I suppose I should. I mean, like, I think that it's sort of to rest on your laurels like that.
Right.
It's not something that's in my best interest, or it's just something I'm interested in. Like Eric was saying, like I don't even listen to things that I've done. I just sort of live my life. I think that there are things that I'm just like, I'll think back on it and be like, that was cool, but I'm not somebody who like will take a bath in that. You know what I'm saying?
I am extremely proud of everything we've done. That's videos with minuscule views. That's videos with a lot of views. That's podcasts that maybe no one will listen to, and that's podcasts that everybody has listened to. But last night we go to this listening event, and this dude comes up to us. And by the way, I was wearing one of our shirts, so it says "It's the Real" on my chest. And this dude comes up, he's like, "Oh my God, are you guys It's the Real?" And I'm just like, yes. Yes, that is us. But he was like, listen, I've been fucking with you guys for a long time, and you guys are legends. And in that moment, you could either say one of two things. You could be like, oh man, no. Or I was just like, thank you, you know, because in his mind, we have earned that way to that title. And I think every now and then about the work that we do, and I'm just super proud of it. I don't know that it's I know it's really good, and I'm really proud of it, but I don't know that it like for me is up there with the stuff that I aspire to have it be.
Right.
But I appreciate that people really, really value it. I do.
I think that, like, there are lots of people who come up to us and they will say, you guys are legends for the Travis Scott thing. You're legends for whatever we've done. But there's so many people out there who don't know who we are. And so that's why it's like a weird middle ground where it's just like, I mean a lot to a group of people. But like, if somebody comes up to me on the subway, there's like 17 people who look in our direction who are just like, I don't know what this is.
But that doesn't mean that you should devalue the work,
No,
because
no,
it does mean something to those people.
But it's that I can't get full of myself over something where it hasn't, like, it's not like monetarily
right.
our lives have changed in any meaningful way. It's
Yeah.
not like, I think that we've done good work and that matters and that's cool. But I'm not going to, be like Scrooge McDuck,
right,
and be like, oh, like, we're fucking killing it,
right. When you were saying about Donna's article with Wale about how he's like, you don't run out of real life. You may run out of stories, you don't run out of real life, whatever it is. I agree with that too, and I think that there are ways to express yourself. I think we can find that in different ways when you're putting out stuff on a weekly basis, especially when you're doing the same type of thing for a long time, that we try to work hard not to be repetitive with, right? And I think what's really helpful, especially with the podcast, is having people up here who don't have the same story as someone else, and and you're able to talk about that. And that's really dope for us because you're entering that into, this historical sort of perspective, and that can last forever. I think creatively, we've always been looking for different angles and new ways to express ourselves too, and that's been very helpful where you don't run out of something. If you do the same thing forever, you're going to tap out. But I think luckily for us, there's lots of different avenues, and any one could really hit. Just the other day, we sold out our remaining stock of our notebook called Rhyme Book. And that was a really cool thing that we'd never done before in terms of,
in that, like, there was like a run of people.
No. I mean, in how we expressed ourselves, through a book. We could put content on a page, have it published, and people will use that in a different way than they will the podcast or the music or the live shows or the TV show or whatever it is. So that was exciting for me to do that, and that people would buy them and buy them en masse was exciting as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you spoke earlier a bit about, feeling like you guys are slept on despite, everything that you've done. And that's something that I can identify with as a creative. I feel like I'm really, really talented at what I do.
Yep.
And I feel like you have to believe that to push yourself further and get to where you want to be. And so you can have that confidence in your work, but then unfortunately, you do need other people's approval, other people's support, other people's promotion of you to get you to that point. So how do you kind of deal with that feeling of knowing what you're doing, how good it is, but still not exactly getting the recognition that you feel you guys deserve?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that part of it is that you have to come to an understanding that numbers just don't matter, and that somebody will see it and somebody will value it and somebody will either put you on to a different level, or the appreciation that those people who do listen or do watch your stuff, that's what matters. But I think that, there's a very small difference between, let's say, like 10,000 and 20,000. There's a very small difference between 10,000 and 50,000, cosmically. If we're talking about millions of plays, then I think that's the real difference. And so until you're getting millions of plays, like, who cares? Just put out good work. And then when you do get millions of plays, then, you can just give up. Who cares?
But I did put up this tweet, and I said that we've had Cardi B and Lil Uzi Vert and Bun B and The Lox and Swiss Beats and Wiz Khalifa and Jamel Hill and Common and Dre, on down the list. And I said we're still slept on. And I do believe that, but I think that, and like I mentioned to you before, I put that on Instagram, and Bun B jumped in and said history is watching. And that, for us, someone who knows us very well, someone who is a legend, and we take very seriously his word, and that was very meaningful. I think that we know that Jay-Z's aware of us. We know that Beyonce and her team, invited us
you
out
guys
to
run Jay-Z's Twitter, so.
Well, yes.
Well,
right.
no, we run Ain't No Jigga.
Right. So, but like,
We don't run Ain't No Jigga.
but
I
like
just don't
Bun,
like that.
So they
Bun
say.
or the Locks or like Wiz or all these people, J. Cole, mess with us, like us as people. ASAP Ferg comes here and hangs out. Like that's Guapdad 4000. Jumps on the phone with us. Like there's a difference between. Like, oh yeah, whatever. Like this is business, and oh yeah, they're good people and they do good work. And once you're okay with that, then the numbers will come and the money will come and everything else. It's just like you leave something for the annals of history and hope that it's bigger than you. And in the meantime, be a good person.
Yeah, and have fun.
And have fun with it.
Yeah, I think that like there's a little bit of delusion that comes with any of this where it's just like, I know I'm good. And I know that like regardless of how long it takes, it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And so, that's sort of where I'm at. Like I've always felt like it might not happen now when we were making videos 10 years ago. But like when we get that TV show, that's when it's going to happen. And then we sold a TV show. And so like it didn't get made, but you sort of have to dream bigger after that, where it's just like, oh, like I'm thinking too small. Mm-hmm. Like I need to be thinking way bigger. And so like I think that there are possibilities out there. So it's just like, I don't really have like an end line to that. It's just like, be delusional, think what you want, and just have fun on the way and be a good person. That's it.
Fun is the most.
Pay your rent.
And pay your rent.
Yeah.
Or don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
Life is short.
Yeah. Do your laundry.
Laundry's
Floss.
important.
Yeah. Flossing is great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3 times.
What's your favorite thing about your brother?
My favorite thing about this brother?
This one.
Oh, okay.
We can talk about your twin too.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Jeff is probably his sense of humor. I think that it is a great driver for our creativity. I think it is a good complement to my humor. Mm-hmm. And Jeff and I have something comedically that no one else has. And if we find something funny, or if Jeff finds something funny that I say, it means more than if someone else does. Mm-hmm. And
no offense.
And together,
some offense.
If we do something funny, it's funnier than something I could do by myself. So I enjoyed that, and I think that's a huge key to our success and why we are still going and relevant and all that. Okay. Yeah.
How about you? What's your favorite thing about this guy over here?
I think that my favorite thing is that Eric doesn't give up. I think that he's somebody who, anytime that it feels like the world seems to be like slowing down a little bit, he's somebody who perseveres, somebody who powers through, and I think that that's like a very a powerful thing to have on your side. Also, the fact that like if I had to do this shit by myself, I think it'd be much harder. Right. I think that he's somebody who I've spent a lot of time with, going to different events. I've been in the trenches with him. Like I think that Eric has a quality that Eric has many qualities, and I think that I think that the fact that we're able to get along so well, I think that matters the most.
By the way, I read that as many good qualities. I do have many qualities, but I'm going to take that as many good qualities.
Oh, right, yeah. Sorry.
Eric has many qualities.
Yeah, Eric, I don't know. You know him.
He's active.
Yeah. He sets up the microphones.
Breathes oxygen.
Yeah. Does laundry.
Yeah.
He pays half the rent. Like,
yeah.
That's cool.
So you mentioned the other brother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does the other brother do?
Whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dan, who is Jeff's twin brother, works generally in sports. He wanted to go to Japan, and he hit up the Tokyo Giants and said, "Hey, you want to bring me on for a couple weeks so I can experience it out there?" And they were like, "Yes."
Well, I mean, not just experience it out there.
And work,
like,
do work. Yeah. And he said, "Let's go." And so he did. And he went out there for like 2 weeks or
Yeah.
2.5 weeks.
And he
or something
consulted
like that.
for them, and
And it was great. And like he's worked for the Super Bowl, he's worked for the Cavaliers when LeBron was there, he worked for the Yankees when Jeter was there, he worked for Madison Square Garden when the Rangers went to the Stanley Cup Finals.
And I think the Knicks were undefeated at that point,
I'm
right?
pretty sure that's revisionist history.
Yeah.
but Dan is a brilliant mind who does a lot of cool things and has a lot more to give to this world. So we're excited.
Well, thank God he's only 30.
No,
whatever.
I know. Well, listen, he can retire if he wants. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's doing fine.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
You guys never considered bringing him on and making the big three like
We
Miami
did.
Yeah,
We did,
He
but-
wanted to be
Like,
on
permanently?
very early on.
Well, we did consider it. There's I don't think space creatively.
Well, no.
On the microphone or something like that.
No, he doesn't want that. I
Right.
think he wants to be behind the scenes person. He came around at a time when we had just brought on management, most recently, and there was an opportunity that that he might have been able to fill, but I think that it might have been too small for him. And so, he's doing his own thing. I think that maybe in the future we'll all work together. Until then, we hang out regularly, and we're still friends.
Yeah.
We just
That's
don't
all
work
right
together.
too. Yeah. He has
But-
many qualities too.
But he has so many qualities.
It's his best quality.
His best quality.
Or your favorite thing about him.
Yeah.
Keep it consistent.
I think that Dan is a fantastic supporter in every way, and that's not always easy to do.
And
Dan,
that's not even specifically about us.
no, it's not. It's not about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's a great team player in every environment he's in. Family-wise, he knows when to jump into a conversation. Friends-wise, he knows when to take someone out to lunch or how to hang out with one person or another or both people or three people or whatever. I think there's a lot of times where Dan just knows how to read a room and play whatever position he has to play, and that translates into business where he was a great manager at all those different places and an executive, and he's just a really good human being.
Nice.
Yeah.
We love nice human beings.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
Shout out to our brother Dan. You know, yeah.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris. Shout out to everybody in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Waco video,
Yeah.
did you buy all those empty pizza boxes, or did a pizza shop lend you those?
We
No, I had
bought
to
them
buy
all.
them.
Oh,
Yeah.
ready for this?
That was a lot of pizza boxes.
I
You
had
don't
to,
even know.
I had to go to somewhere deep in Brooklyn. I mean, you're gonna tell the whole story about how we had to do the video twice.
Yeah.
But those pizza boxes, they came from, because we got 100
We
or
bought them in
a bulk.
bulk. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but I had to go to Brooklyn by myself and get these two.
The second time.
The second time.
Yeah.
And I got two heavy pallet. I'm not a big guy. I'm a big guy, but I'm not a big guy. And so I was dragging these boxes at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
from
Wherever in Brooklyn.
from wherever it was, and just
The warehouse district.
And then we built them all ourselves
So yeah, which
because
so,
they come flat.
That sounds annoying.
Yo, we went
was very
yesterday.
annoying.
We were shipping out a whole bunch of mugs that we sold, right? Mean mugs. And we went to the post office, dropped them off, sent them out, and then went to a pizza spot right around the corner. And while we were eating, some dude in the back, it was I don't know, a 1930s film, all of the pizza boxes fell on him. And Jeff goes, "Been there," and it's true because that happens in the Waco music video. But also, so we get this great idea. We're like, what happens if we throw a big party and no one shows up? And that's the
video.
That's the fire video for our song Waco. And we're like, cool, let's shoot it at where we had our childhood parties at, the Purchase Community House up in Purchase. So we reserve it. It's
Super Bowl weekend.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And so it was the Patriots and the Falcons. So that big game,
2017.
that crazy comeback, we missed the whole thing. So we shoot this video, and it's great. And we had returned to this place where we had grown up and where we had later worked, and it meant a lot to us. They just give us the keys, and we can do whatever we want. And within that, you're shooting this. You have a big, team there. Everyone's shooting it and participating in it, and we're having a good time, and we feel good about the product. and we clean up at the end because we're in charge. And
also, like, that takes us back to, like, being teenagers in this place. Like,
there's a
it's just,
joy where it's like, oh yeah, I remember how to do the dumpster dance. You know, like we can do where the broom came from, clean all this stuff up, go behind the mats and whatever. And then our director flies back to Los Angeles. He gets in his car, stops to go get something to eat, and his car is broken into, and his
they stole the footage.
They stole his computer and his hard drives.
Wow.
And everything is gone.
Yeah, I guess they didn't specifically steal the footage.
They went
stole
for our
everything.
video.
Yeah.
This sounds premeditated, like they were plotting on you guys.
I
Yeah.
know. Do we
It
say
was the
something mean
Russians.
about
Yeah,
Nicki
they said something
Minaj?
Nicki Minaj.
The Barbs?
Yeah.
So we're like, what do we do? And we talk throughout all these scenarios, and we could do a different idea. We could obviously, like, you know, it's going to get paid for again. And it came down to, we felt so good about the video, let's do it again. So,
But we had to get a different girl, and I had to go back to Brooklyn and get the fucking boxes.
and get all the balloons, and we're doing all the shopping for all the same thing, and you have to reserve it. So we went from Super Bowl Sunday, we missed that whole thing, to Selection Sunday for March Madness, missed that whole thing. So my mom, you know, our mom calls us up, and she was like, Syracuse got in or whatever. I'm just like, I had no idea that it was even today, right?
Wow.
And
The second time you had a sinus infection.
it was
and so you
horrible.
couldn't.
I had to like lay down in like a dark room while they're all setting up and like going through things, and Jeff has to like go find me in this giant, you know, community house, and like
Yeah, you were off.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's not as fun doing the video a second time. Like,
I can imagine.
nor is it as fun cleaning up at the end of it.
yeah, like the nostalgia was gone. It was just like, oh, the nostalgia from a month ago when we did this video and it was
Yeah.
fine.
So we shot the video, felt just as great in the end when it was done, but flew out to South by Southwest the following day and had a very successful time down there. But very proud of the video. When you watch it now, we can all laugh about the the crappy things.
Yeah.
You know, there was another music video that we shot called Dave Matthews Bands, and the first setup in Jeff's college roommate's
Yeah, so
mansion.
I hadn't talked to my first time I ever met my college roommate from my freshman year. My parents, I think, asked like, hey, like, you know, what do you want to do? Like, you know, like small talk while you're setting up the room because you like live 2 feet from each other. And he was like, I want to make $1 million by the time I'm 30. And he did it. And so he and his wife, who she lived on the floor beneath us my freshman year, I hadn't really seen them since freshman year, but I texted them and I was just like, hey, like, we want to shoot this video. I know you guys have this giant house. Would that be cool? And they were like, yeah, like, we'd love to see you.
Because
By
the whole
way-
idea was that we're going to be riding around on hoverboards, and we're like, we're going to have a wheelbarrow, and it's going to be filled with $1 million. And, like, we're going to be, like, rolling through, would you mind handing over your house for, like, a day? And they were like, yeah.
Well,
And we were
also,
like, what?
the other idea was that we're riding on hoverboards, but then
They
like
break
10
down.
seconds into the video, they break down, and so you have to charge them the entire video.
You have to walk with them. And so first setup is in this giant sort of atrium, and
There was a smoke machine,
Yeah.
and the smoke machine immediately sets off the fire alarm, the
and,
smoke, like
and
all
the
the
ceilings
alarms.
are like so high, and you can't get to them, and like we didn't even shoot an inch of film or whatever.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh no. And the alarm goes to Jeff's college roommate, goes to their phone at the club with the kids. They're like, is everything okay? It's like, do you remember Something About Mary when he zips up his never seen it? All right. For everyone out there.
Yeah, spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
everyone else in the room, Something About Mary.
a 22-year-old film.
Ben Stiller zips up his fly and it goes over his nuts.
But
And-
also over and under, because everybody's
Yes.
confused by it.
and so, everybody starts showing up.
Sorry, you
in
should
the
have watched this 22 years ago.
everybody
Yeah,
starts
oh,
showing up, like the police and the fire department and the neighbors or whatever. That's
they're
what
like,
happened.
They're coming through the window. Like,
Yeah.
So the cops showed up,
and the fire department and the
but the cops were like, who here lives here?
and we're dressed
on-
in Dave Matthews Band shirts and cargo shorts,
And we're on
hemp
hoverboards,
necklaces, and we're
and
rolling around.
we're rolling around, and we're like, none of us live here.
They're like, you two.
Yeah,
Like,
can you
let's-
guys
let's
like leave the house? And
Yeah.
so we had to go out there. I had to get
give a statement,
his-
whatever.
my college roommate's wife. on
Let
the
them
phone
know that we
and-
were not breaking into the house. But
Yeah.
So we have a good track record with music videos.
You have a bad track record with Sundays. Was this recorded on a Sunday?
I think it was a Saturday.
Oh,
What's our Sunday? Oh,
Super Bowl Sunday, Selection
exactly.
Sunday. I'm seeing a pattern.
Yeah.
This
basically
was-
any weekend.
Yeah.
Just bad weekends.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
bad
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything is bad. Thank you.
Except the music videos, they're great. Go check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Tim Westwood TV.
Yeah.
So since the episode with Wale and Smoke Dizzo, or rather the episode with
Yeah.
Kazim,
Yep.
have you watched WWE since then?
Not at
No.
all.
Not
No.
at all.
No. Thought about it.
Sorry.
Okay.
And
Sorry,
when I say
wrestling
thought
fans.
about it, I mean I didn't really think about it. No.
Yeah. Didn't give it a second thought.
No, but I do have an appreciation for wrestling because of them.
All right.
Where I'm just like, oh, like, I understand that it takes a lot of work or whatever, but
It's
I
like-
don't mean to be dismissive by saying it takes a lot of work or whatever.
Yeah. Wrestlers have qualities.
Yeah.
They do.
but I mean, like, we support all of our friends who like wrestling. I think that, like, a lot of our friends, if I were to go to a wrestling match, I would go with one of those guys. I would go with a Ron
That would
Funches.
make it more fun. Yeah.
I would go
Peter
with
Rosenberg,
Anise. I would
whoever.
go with
Yeah.
Peter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not, like,
Tuning in on Monday nights.
yeah, on whatever channel it's on. UPN. I don't know.
Yeah.
So your spirit animal's Quavo.
Yeah, my spirit animal is Quavo.
So
Yes.
if you're Quavo, who are you?
Ooh.
This is.
I didn't realize there were going to be tough questions
Yeah.
on here.
No.
Yeah.
Wait for the tough
My
questions.
spirit animal, Meg the Stallion.
No.
No.
Is it takeoff or is it offset?
Oh.
Dun dun.
Those are my options.
Yes.
I guess Offset. Yeah.
Why?
Why? I feel like he's got more personality.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agree with that.
Wow.
He's actually my favorite Migo.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
know what?
I mean,
I
that's
thought
fine.
his solo project was the best out of the three of them.
Yeah.
I agree.
A lot of people thought that Takeoffs was going to be the best.
It was good.
But it was
I
good.
liked it.
Yeah.
I think that
Well, no. What's crazy is that everybody. So it's like it shifted. It was like Quavo. Everybody's like, oh my God, Quavo is gonna go solo and it's gonna
Yeah.
be amazing. And then
Yeah.
Quavo's album comes out and it's like, I don't think so. And they're like, you want to know what? We never believed in Quavo. It was
Right.
always gonna be Takeoff.
Right.
Takeoff is he's the quiet one. He's the interesting one. He wears glasses. It's got to be him. And it's like, I don't know about that one.
Right.
And then they were like, don't worry about those two.
Yeah.
Because we've still got Offset. He's coming out.
Right.
And then it was good.
It was good.
I thought it was good. Yeah.
Takeoff kind of reminds me of Kawhi Leonard
Yeah.
because like
Because he laughs crazy.
you don't hear him talk much. He's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't hear him talk much. He's
No.
just like the silent killer.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
So
and
how
he's a
about
great
that?
Closer.
When we had the Migos on and Offset was in jail, and you only had Quavo and Takeoff wasn't talking.
And Quavo was in a bad mood.
Yeah, it doesn't
and
make for a
so-
great interview.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Awesome. So, are you guys Khalid or Majid Jordan fans?
I am. Well, I mean, I'm not a 16-year-old, so that's the one thing. I do like Khalid.
Are you calling me 16?
Well, how old
I'm
are you?
not,
24.
not
Okay,
judging.
I was like, I
Wait.
don't crack. It's hard to tell.
Wait, is it because they rhyme? Khalid and
they have a
Majid?
song coming out together soon.
Got it.
And it's funny
Oh.
because their names rhyme.
I'm gonna be
so
honest. Division.
Love
Yeah,
Division.
love
That's
Division.
that's who I'm with.
Love
That's who
Division.
I'm rocking with.
Well, which of the singles did you like more recently? In Between or Miss Me?
Neither. I the first album. Like I'm still on
September
that.
5th?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait, in terms of Khalid or Majid, I like Khalid is obviously like way more popular. I like some of his songs. I like the remix with Meg the Stallion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hot Girl Summer.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting you bring up how Khalid is more famous than Majid because people would think,
That's interesting.
It is because people just assume being under OVO, it's like, oh, you've got this backing, like you should be this superstar. What do you guys think it is about that label? With Drake, with this machine that they have, like they run their business very well.
Yeah.
And they have all these talented artists. Party Next Door is incredible. Division,
Yeah.
Majid,
Yeah.
Roy Woods, just signed Popcon. Like they've got a lot of talent, but it's just like Drake. Then it's like everyone's kind of like.
But also, like, a cosign goes only so far.
That's true.
Like, Majid Jordan is making, like, 90s, like, sort of, like, house dance songs that are not meant to be huge.
And by the way, Party is doing quite fine writing for
Oh,
Beyonce
for sure,
or
for sure.
Rihanna or whoever
for
right
sure.
now.
But I think that
people just
like,
really want his
No,
music.
of
It's
course, of
been-
course.
yeah.
But I think
But Khalid makes music for, like, 16-year-olds. Like, it is for kids who are just
24.
Like, he makes music for 24-year-olds specifically. He makes music for you.
Yeah.
I think that the way OVO runs their business is just like any other label runs their own business. It's not like anything way, different than anyone else. And I think a lot of times they're just like, well, wait, how come Lloyd Banks didn't pop off at G Unit like he should have? Or why didn't like Yayo pop off like he should have? Or at Murder Inc., why didn't, Charlie Baltimore pop off
Cadillac
like she should have? Or Cadillac Tom.
Yeah.
Or whoever. And you're going to find that why didn't Bleak, pop off like he should have? Or, on down the line wherever. And I think you find that across the board, you can't do for someone else what they won't do for themselves. So you're not going to have a roster full of Jay-Z's at Rockefeller. You're not going to have a roster full of Drakes at OVO. And I think if you accept who people are and how hard they work, you're going to do much better than if you're, making sure that McConan is a carbon copy of what Drake is. It's just that's not going to be the case. So like Tuesday did well, and it probably did well because of a whole bunch of factors, but it didn't hurt that Drake was on it. But you can't expect that everything's going to be that and everything's going to be falling in line like you want. It's just there's only one Drake. That's just the case. There's only one 50 Cent. And you just have to sort of accept, like, all right, Lloyd Banks did what Lloyd Banks did.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
But also, I think that, like, a lot of this stuff is luck, and a lot of timing and a lot of just getting in front of the right audience and, having the right sound for the right moment. And, there's a lot of cultural shifts that, people just are, it's like they bounce off of.
Now, by the way, here's a question. Would The Weeknd, had he stuck around, been as big under Drake's shadow? I'm going to say no. I think that like what he did on his own has actually been more beneficial. And now we're getting to a subject that Jeff likes, Nav.
Love Nav.
God.
Nav is not going to be The Weeknd, but nor should people expect him.
No, because he is a robot who like has to at night he has to be charged into the wall. That's what Nav's on.
We saw him in Denver live.
I haven't seen him live yet.
It was a much more diverse crowd than I expected. I thought that it was going to be
But that's
a bunch
Denver.
That is Denver.
Yeah.
Well, no,
like,
but Denver's a white city.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, I don't want people to think, like, you would expect just a certain crowd to go see Nav. It's just like...
I expect everybody to go see Nav.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
All of my incels.
Yeah.
All of my...
You have terrible taste if you don't like Nav.
Is it Nav Hive? What is it? Nav
Storm?
Navigation. Yeah.
No,
Navigators.
Navigators.
No.
Navigators.
See, this sounds like a bad pop like hive that you created.
Yeah.
Like that's like what fucking like Arianators.
Right. Not a thing.
It's like not a thing.
But
That's
navigation.
not a pun.
Navigators is a thing. That is a pun.
A car?
Sure.
Great.
We are driving his career.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
To a number one
That's
album
right.
on
Yeah.
Billboard.
Yeah.
I would rather drive the
did that.
boat because Meg the Stallion, big fan.
Is the best of all time.
Yeah.
Got
True.
it.
Very true. I think this is a really good spot to end. So I'm gonna end
On
a
Nav?
prayer?
On Nav? Yeah, with a prayer. That's like DMX, yeah. Again, we are like DMX. And
I just want to know what you guys' songs of the summer are. Personal
Oh.
choices.
Well, okay, I haven't. So Jeff sent out a newsletter. Go sign up for our newsletter at itsthereal.com. Jeff sent out a newsletter where he mentioned that Wale and Jeremiah might have the song of the summer.
On Chill is Fire.
Yeah,
I
a lot of
haven't
people
even
are-
gotten a chance to listen to it yet.
A lot of people are saying that it's song of the summer.
It's a really good song.
I think that the thing about the song of the summer is that even though there's a lot of people who will be listening to that song, it's not like I'm going to be listening to all the time. Like I also mentioned like the Guap Dad and Mozzie song. I'll probably listen to that like way more.
But you understand that there is a big
Yeah,
song
yeah.
that will take over the
And
world.
and Wale, like I might every time I go out, I will probably hear that Wale and Jeremiah song.
Got it.
Is that so? We're talking about like what is the song of the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that.
I haven't even heard it yet, so I'm
just agree. Just be like, yeah,
yeah. Okay, yeah. That's the song.
But yeah, like I said, I listen to like 80s funk. I listen to like Blackstreet. I listen to
I'm excited for that Rick Ross album coming out on August
9th or something.
9th, yeah. I'm excited for you know what song so I'm listening to a lot of songs. There's a really good run on the Chris Brown album that has like it's called Indigo and has a really good run of like 4, 5, 6 songs in a row. I'm just like, wow, these are great.
The song with Gunna's really good. I love that one.
I love the song "Distance" by Beast Coast.
Right.
I've been listening a lot to that. I think it's really, really good.
You love DaBaby, or as I
Love
say,
DaBaby.
Dababy.
Legend.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
Already
amazing.
a legend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love his new project. I love his old project. I love everything he's involved with. It's great.
I
think
love
song
Ashley
Dreamers.
with "Stunna for Vegas."
great song. I saw the video yesterday. It's a Fresh Prince play.
Yep.
It's really great. I love the fact that DaBaby beat up his enemy in a store and then made that into a meme and made it into a shirt. Great.
Well, I am a Cam Coldheart fan.
Apologist?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's Cam Coldheart's hive?
I don't know.
Do you even know who Cam Coldheart is? No.
Oh,
I've heard the name.
I'm also
He's the
big
guy who got
into.
beaten up by.
Oh, yes.
I'm also big
okay.
into Burna Boy and
Love Burna Boy.
and I'm big into this dude called Runtown.
Okay.
He's
I've seen
great.
that name too. Haven't heard the
Or maybe it's a
music, but
group and
seen
they're
them.
great. I don't know, but Runtown.
Yeah.
And yeah, big Afrobeat time right now.
Yeah, no,
So
Afrobeats is killing right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Toast by Coffee.
oh my God.
Phenomenal
If
song.
you look up Wale's most popular song, it is by far the one that he did from like 2 years ago.
Shine album with
Yeah,
Yeah, mhm.
with Wizkid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like-
Which I
Yeah.
re-listened to like last week ever
Yeah.
since you said that.
Yeah, and I looked at it and it's like a billion plays. It's just like what?
Mm.
Like how did this even happen? But Afrobeat.
That's
And
a really good album, up and down. Like it's
Shine.
It's still
Yeah.
interesting. Like he's had songs go gold, go
Yes.
platinum from it, but it seems like it's lower on the ranking of his discography for most people. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
Which is
it's just
wrong.
like-
Well,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Ambition is a great album.
Of
It
course.
might be
Classic.
my favorite.
It's a
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
He is a really, really great artist,
Mm-hmm.
and he's one of those guys. We talk a lot about like, oh, who's your white whale? 2 Chainz, obviously, like we want on the podcast. There's people like Fonzer Bentley that we haven't had on yet, or
Mm-hmm.
people like Lior, or different people in and out of the business that we'd like to get on. But Wale is one of those people who, even though we had him on the wrestling one,
Right.
I just want to sit down with him and talk about life because he's a fascinating guy. He's a great guy, and there's a lot to delve into. And Wale, if you're listening or watching,
Yeah.
as we've told you, you're more than welcome to stop by.
Yeah.
You can hit me up too.
There you go.
It's
There you go.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, just from like his Twitter alone, like he's just so interesting. Like, and he's posting all these food pics now, and
Big
like,
ramen.
He plays video games.
Yeah.
And, like he'll like troll his fans, like we want old Wale back. Oh, go listen to old Wale. Like, stuff like that. Like he'll say like my fans don't even know who I am. Like he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great.
Great guy.
He's great.
Awesome. So thank you guys again for letting me come into your home. Our
Thank
first time
you.
meeting. I promise I won't steal anything, even though I see you have Mets stuff over
Yeah,
there.
we do.
Yep.
We do.
It's a little concerning.
Hey, man.
Are
Wait,
you a Mets fan?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
wait, so why would you steal it?
Yeah. Yeah. What would you do with it?
Throw it on the ground.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I don't really
That
think
seems
that
like
one
an
through.
That's
issue
kinda
that you
mean.
have.
Yeah.
I didn't really think that one through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that one through. It's cool. It's all love. It's all love.
Right on.
So thank you guys. We got Eric
Yeah.
and Jeff Rosenthal from
Yeah.
It's the Real. This is Kazi Get to Know series. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Grrrrat!